Do you ever feel like giving up running your business? Do you feel like throwing in the towel, throwing your dreams away and getting a real job? I get it. Sometimes the stress of being a business owner can be really challenging to deal with. In a previous Tea Time tip, we talked about dealing with negative reviews and how to turn that into something, not quite so negative and dealing with it in order to preserve your business. This is kind of good timing because it doesn't feel good when you get those negative reviews, especially when they're from legitimate clients, right? Obviously, we can pass off the fake ones without any problem. But when a legitimate client is unhappy with us enough to tell other people, then it hurts. How do you deal with that? It's a big topic that happens in the entrepreneurial world, especially the solo entrepreneurs, where we're by ourselves. You don't have a whole bunch of people that you can talk to and relate to and share, bounce ideas off of. I watched Lady Gaga's acceptance speech on Sunday. When I was watching that, her speech was very powerful and very poignant, right? And I think maybe it really hit a lot of other people too, in that same sense of, she basically said, it's not about giving up or about, being rejected and how many times you've fallen down. It's about how many times you stand up and are brave and you keep going. But there's much more to that story. Like, if anybody knows Lady Gaga from before, she was severely misunderstood. I remember having lots of conversations with people who just thought that because of her outlandishness, she was somebody who wouldn't be taken seriously, wearing a meat dress to an awards ceremony. Unfortunately, what she did in order to get herself visible and become the big famous person before she really was famous, the downfall is that her actual skills and talents were kind of negated. And so that's why this award was so important for her, because it proved that she was worthy of this kind of success. We all want to be worthy of success, don't we? As business owners, have a purpose and to help other people and to make money, of course. Lady Gaga's acceptance speech really did remind us of all about the power of working smart and pursuing the things that are most important to us. And so I want to know from you, were you inspired by her speech as much as I was? But like I said, it serves as a great reminder that success is not easy. There's no magic wand. There's no pixie fairy dust that gets sprinkled over us and we become instant millionaires, with little effort to go with it. And unfortunately, I see this so much in the social media world, in the guru world. There's lots of promises that, just follow my blueprint and you'll become instantly successful. Follow my 10-step program and, I promise you that you'll be, a millionaire. Man, it's just not that easy. And, I think we've been led to believe that it is easy to become successful in business. And the reality is that it isn't. And of course, that all depends on what your definition of success is as well, right? I'm kind of being global about what I'm saying here. It's a business, there's just no magic wand for that. Also, along with that struggle of, trying to achieve a successful business, aside from that hard work, it can be very emotionally draining. Would you agree that, there's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows with running a business? How do you deal with that? Let's have a discussion. What do you do when you're experiencing those lows? Like, some of those lows could be losing a big client or receiving those negative reviews that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And, those kinds of reviews that cause harm to your business reputation. And, it can have a very reciprocal effect, a ripple effect when that kind of stuff happens. Even stuff like when clients aren't paying on time and that's causing you not to be able to pay your bills on time. Dealing with angry and frustrated clients, who are demanding getting refunds perhaps. So how do you deal with that? Does that really drain you emotionally and cause you to really wonder, is this really worth it? Are all of these challenges worth it? I know for me, managing employees is also a bit of a drain as well. This isn't across the board, like specifically for everybody who I have had on my team over the years, but in general, it's hard to have employees who care as much about your business as you do. But at the end of the day, it all adds up. How do you manage all of those lows that make you crawl back into bed and wish it would all go away? I've been around for almost 20 years now, so I've definitely had my fair share of highs and lows. The highs are absolutely wonderful and amazing, and that's what reminds us as to why we're doing what we do, and feeling the gratitude that our clients give us. That's the kind of stuff that makes my heart sing. And even if we are the recipient of someone else's services, I encourage you to share your gratitude with that person. It's amazing, as you know, how important it is, to receive that gratefulness and to know, that you're making a difference in somebody else's life. I did put down some ideas on, how to manage those lows. This is kind of the stuff that I go through, but I'm pretty sure that there's lots of other ideas and suggestions that other people can share. So I encourage you to, pipe in and share what you do. How do you manage the lows in your business? One of the things that I do is I first of all give myself permission to be angry and frustrated. I allow it to happen. I allow, give myself permission to feel the emotions that are coming up for me, and and just realize that, okay, it is what it is, right? I can't prevent what just happened, whatever that that thing is. I have to accept it, that it happened, and accept my emotional response for that. It's good to just take a step back and take a breath. Like I find that if it's major enough, then I need to leave. I need to leave my workspace, and I need to go and just sit and just breathe and just sit with whatever has transpired. Give myself a chance to think things through, and give myself some quiet time to kind of, do some soul searching. Okay, fine. What happened here? What happened, and why did it happen? It's important, because we all need to learn from whatever happened. There is something very valuable in saying that there's lessons to be learned in everything, even in the negative, the most worst stuff that you possibly think could be happening. There's lessons to be learned in that. And then I do a shift. When I start getting into that frame of mind, I'm thinking about, okay, what happened? Why did it happen? What lessons can I learn from this? How can I do things differently next time to prevent this from happening again? That's super important. And then I shift, and instead of focusing on there being a problem, I switch it around and make it into a solution that needs to be found yet. So I ask myself, okay, what's the solution here? How can I fix this? What do I need to do to turn things around? What are my options? And the important thing about asking yourself that question is to be genuine about it. Like, you genuinely do want to know, okay, what do I do about this? And also, to prevent you from dwelling on what went wrong, right? Laying blame or getting defensive or going on the attack is not going to serve any purpose, and it's probably going to make things worse. So we want to shift this around from that negative energy into the positive energy of forward thinking instead of looking back. This part of things is us needing to take responsibility of what happened, and then trust that the solution that will come to you will turn things around. That, okay, just sit with this for a second. And how are we going to turn things around, and trust that things will turn around, that life is not always forever going to stay in this pocket of the depth that you're in, right? Trust that there's always going to be a way out, and that you're going to go back up again. You just want to sit with that and wait for a solution to come to you. And the more that I allow this process to work on my behalf and for me, the easier that solution comes. Like the turnaround time is becomes quicker and quicker the more I get into that routine. And it's not to say like every day, I have to do this process, right? It's not as if, every day is full of lows for me. I'm talking about when I get into those lows, and they do happen for everybody. It doesn't matter how successful somebody comes across on social media. You don't know the whole story. Everybody, I don't know personally everybody, but it's a safe guess that most everybody is going to go through a low in their business. And sometimes it's completely out of their control. They might have had a flood or a fire or a theft or, something that, that they have to deal with, and that, created a business blow. Aside from that mental exercise of what we need to do is, shifting that thought process that's going on in our minds. There's some physical things that you can do as well to help along and help you, kind of separate yourself from that negative energy. And one of the best things to do is to definitely get up and get out of the office, get away from your work area, and then go for a walk. Or do some meditation. Lots of people love to meditate, or do some yoga, things like that. Even take a nap. I've done that many times. Just like, okay, the stress is too much. I just got to go and take a break. I got to give my mind a break and just settle that energy back down again, so that I can get into a better frame of mind that is in the solution orientated instead of the victim or the angry orientated mode. So just sit and breathe, and even just do breathing exercises, things like that, and just sit quietly and listen to what comes up. You will come up with the solution. I promise you that. And then also, if you do have a coach, I highly recommend that you have some kind of a coach or mentor, somebody that you can turn to, whose advice you admire and respect, who has knowledge about, this kind of thing that, they've been there, done that, and they've worked with other clients who've been there and done that. I also do mentoring with many clients. It's, business and marketing mentoring, where I, can kind of show the ropes and step-by-step strategies on how to get yourself out there and build your business. But, I definitely help with the mindset work too. But, at the end of the day, some days you might feel like quitting. There's no doubt about it. But instead of quitting or getting into that, that rabbit hole of a downward spiral, just take a break and rest, and don't give up on your dream. Like what Lady Gaga says, stand up, be brave, and keep going, right? And don't quit. It may take longer than what you had planned. And especially if you did listen to some of those gurus and their promises of instant success, it's time to be more realistic with your dreams. And sometimes even when not bad stuff, but when stuff is not working, when sales are not happening, when, your brand new program is getting, tumbleweed flying across the screen, nobody's responding, then that too might be a time to definitely talk to a business coach or a mentor and find out, okay, what am I doing wrong here? How can I turn this around? And it might mean doing a little bit of a shift with your business and working more at what does your target audience need and want from you, and what they're willing to pay for, as opposed to what you want to do. Or your marketing message needs to change so that you're attracting those people of what you want to do. There's always going to be highs, there's always going to be lows, and we need to not react accordingly. We just need to kind of be in that fluid moment of going with the flow, knowing that the bad stuff is going to pass. It will, we promise. And you're not always going to stay at the top either. You're not going to always have, those $50,000 clients or whatever showing up every day. Last minute thoughts is, definitely get the help that you need. Instead of trying to struggle and try to do everything all on your own, get the help that you need. Hire the right people, fire the wrong people as quickly as you can. And then pursue your ideal client. And, that's why sometimes there is a mismatch between what you're producing and who you want to work with. And so make sure that what you are creating is in alignment with who you want to work with, and pursue that ideal client. Don't try to pursue everybody. Just focus on that one niche market, and do temper your expectations. It's not going to be a straight line upwards. There's definitely going to be highs and lows. And so make sure that your expectations are, not above being realistic. And then be resilient. Just be resilient. You got to have a tough skin when you're in business by yourself. There's so many things that can be coming at you on so many different directions, and you really do need to be resilient. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tea Time tip, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now, everybody.